So make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Welcome back to the Coding Show, the first African coding challenge show. This is where 4 teams of developers turn real problems into code in 4 hours. And today, it's about building something that can work for you when you are asleep. Yeah, so today's challenge is you're supposed to build something that works for you when you sleep. So think an automation for your emails. Yeah, something that basically works when you're not online. All the best. You have 30 minutes to brainstorm and 4 hours to build. 30 minutes starts now.
Hi, I'm Robin. I'm a software engineer. Currently, I'm doing a lot of backend engineering at Soltech. Yeah, that's who I am.
Hello, my name is Wamaitha. I am a machine learning engineer and I also make content.
My name is Alia Mnavo. I am a developer. I work at Mikal Technologies as a creative director, and I also work as the CEO of Nanu. It's a learning management system basically for children with Down syndrome. Not necessarily children alone, but basically anyone with Down syndrome who wants to expand their learning abilities into any normal institution for other normal students, if I may say, other normally abled students.
Hi, my name is Rin Busire. I'm a data scientist working at Mukatan Conservancy. I deal with wildlife and conservation. Aside from that, I am the CFO of Nanu.
Hi, my name is Aisha Omar Farah. I'm a full stack developer and CTO of Nanu.
My name is Salma Adam. I am the Kenya lead ambassador for FATA, which is a platform for enhancing your skill and maximizing your learning for developers. Other than that, I wear many hats. I am the COO of Nanu and a software engineer.
My name is Mark Clinton. I am a software developer and also a recruiter, and I'm happy to be here for this episode 5 show.
My name is Sike Joseph Afula. In my case, I'm still learning, but this is my first time at Vibe Coding Show.
Hi, my name is Tracy Onim. I'm a software engineer. I program specifically with Elixir, and I find pleasure educating people about Elixir. So I'm a code mentor. Today I'm here as a judge, and I'm looking forward to great ideas. Also, people who are turning ideas into an actual product with vibe coding. That's what I'm looking forward to.
My name is Bonaventure Ogeto. I'm a software engineer, and I'm also the founder of Maktaba Labs. I work in EdTech, so mainly just education technology, building education products. Today, I'm looking for practicality and practical applicability of the ideas that they have. And even potentially, if it is an idea that has some commercial value in it, as much as that is not the main thing you're looking for, but I'm still always interested in the bottom line of anything that someone is building.
So our idea is to basically work for investors and for startups when they are just doing their normal things, where we take the extra step where we validate startups for investors, and then we provide them like a pool of options where they can put their money into based on the best criteria possible in the market.
Normally, when you're traveling, especially for work and maybe sometimes even for school, and it takes quite a bit of time, it becomes very difficult with the time zones when you're trying to communicate back with family members and keep in touch with their loved ones back at home. And it's often that you lose time and speed, like you lose constant time checking with your loved ones. So we created this system to be able to have a bot to answer your messages for you, depending on the level of sensitivity. So the bot is able to, with your consent, read your messages, understand how you normally answer and how you normally relate to a certain person, and when you're asleep, it will answer for you the messages that you get from your family members, and they can have a somewhat normal conversation with you, and you can be able to have a summary of this particular conversation when you wake up in the morning and tell them what you want to tell them in the next conversation.
So when we were introduced to the topic, niwe unafaa kuongea.
It's you should speak now.
Because we work a lot around different people and communities. So we thought of the workers like in a manufacturing company where they manufacture pens. The accidents happen a lot. So we're thinking of automating a supervisor AI that can detect those accidents before they happen. So instead of just having the CCTV being there, we can actually switch off the machines when they overheat. That can prevent the accidents from happening. So far so good, the 30 minutes of brainstorming, that's what we've been able to come up with, and we are still hoping to build something big.
We decided to come up with an idea of an autorespond application, and we want to build an autorespond application for email and for WhatsApp, so that when a client sends a message, these messages are responded to without any fail. Because when we rely sometimes on the human responses, it becomes slow. And with the current generation, we want something that is moving. We want something that when you send a message, you get an instant reply. So we are building an autoresponder that is going to rely on an artificial intelligence to get the responses.
What's the process? Briefly.
So we're done with the front end. We used Lovable for that. We're currently working on the back end. He's working on the portion of the back end that connects to the front end, and hopefully he'll be able to deploy that as well. I'm working on the portion of the back end that does the automation overnight.
For building the back end, I've used Cloud Code. It's a CLI tool. It has been integrated with VS Code. Yeah, that's for the back end bit.
Yeah, so to connect what he's doing and what I'm doing, we're currently using Firebase as our database. Personally, I am using Temporal for the orchestration of like the whole scheduling, because this will be running overnight. The end goal is to have oh yes. No, imeenda tena.
Oh, so anyway, we'll get it done too.
So the goal is to hopefully have like a system that can work overnight. And also the reason why I'm using Temporal is because it has like baked in durability. I don't have to think about website. You've gone to a website, it's not working. Temporal does that automatically.
So far, it has been an amazing journey. We've coded, we've cooperated, we've brainstormed with other teams, and we love what we have built.
Vibe coding is very conceptual, basically. It's not something very technical per se. So we used a tool that is new to both of us. We tried something different that our teammates are also using called Lovable. And honestly, it's a bit challenging considering we're used to doing the code manually and then now using AI to like fix the code. So using the AI to create the code, then not knowing a way to fix it was a bit of a loophole. We got to learn that AI can build something, but it's very conceptual and you need to actually be very careful of what you prompt and what you can have.
So Aisha is handling the back end, and first we have tried using Lovable. What was the first? Okay, from scratch. You were building something on back end on an application. The first one. Which one was that one?
It's coding from scratch.
Okay, she coded from scratch. Wow, amazing.
I failed.
We have failed on that one, and then now we decided to check on Lovable just to brainstorm on the idea and ensure that it's something that can actually work. So far, so good. We like the front end. We like the way it looks. We like the data that is showing up on the on the platform, and we also like the numbers and the colors in the UI. It's really nice, and we are looking forward to presenting something amazing.
I'm working on the API in webhook, where we are receiving the emails from Gmail to the application, and also AI service, where now defining the roles of the AI and what it should and how it should respond to the emails. Also working on receiving messages from WhatsApp and sending them back to the knowledge.
So on my end, I was working on WhatsApp, connecting WhatsApp with the application, making sure the WhatsApp receives messages from the application.
I'm using Laravel for the API and also using Filament for the admin dashboard so that at least I can see the conversations that are coming in. And also I'm using the Gmail API.
On my end, I'm using the WhatsApp API and Node.js.
Hello all, if you've reached this point, that means you love the video. So make sure you like, comment, share and subscribe. We are road to 10k subscribers, and when we get to 10k subscribers, one of you all will get a chance to win a laptop. So yeah, click that button. Yeah, keep watching and keep winning. So yeah, you've had 30 minutes to brainstorm for us to build it. Now it's time to show the world the idea, right? Yeah, how are you feeling? Are you feeling like winners? Robin. Yeah, so all the best, and please let's limit the time to 1 minute. So focus on the main feature on your idea. Yeah, all the best.
Hello guys, my name is Omaita.
Hello, I'm Robin.
And our project is called Venture Vista.
So I'll take you through Venture Vista. Venture Vista is a platform where we connect investors to startups and startups to investors, vice versa. So we have this problem where most startups say they are doing stuff, but they are not doing it. So in this scenario, we look for startups, we search for their records online, we validate the things that are saying, we cross-reference whether they're registered, their legality, we vet them to see if the number of users they say they have is what they have. And then we look at other aspects, other information that may prove useful to the investor.
Yes, and to stay on theme with today's problem is we need to have a system that runs as we sleep. So our project is mainly based on Temporal. Temporal is a system that lets you build workflows as code. In our case, because you've seen we have like multiple steps. We have like the first step, getting the actual startup data. Somebody else has to go validate that, legal, what. So we consider that a whole workflow. And because of that, we have chosen to use Temporal. So to show you a quick demo. So Temporal is currently running. You can see we are currently looking at these two startups at the same time. If you get into it, you're going to see all the workflows. So in the event, we have a system where, because we also have AI into it, it's giving us AI summaries and all that. We can build a system that is durable. So if I can show you a system, one that has worked, yeah, you can see we have steps. So the first step was scraping the websites. Then we get an AI summary. From the website, we are getting the emails of the founders. We can add another step here to verify the emails. We store that to Firebase. And because this system is like pluggable blocks, you can always come and add more stuff.
So to take you through the website, what we have created, the platform itself looks like this. So after you log in as an investor, we only have one side where the investors can log in. We don't have the one for startups. Startups are the one finding themselves automatically from the system she just showed. So this is the platform. These are different startups that have been scraped from the internet. Once you have found the startups, you vet them. You see if they are saying the truth or not. So that is when you see a status where we see validated, where it's validated. Or email sent. Email sent is when we are having conversations with the startups and see if they can give us the extra details so that we can validate them. You can see disqualified is if they can't prove what they are saying they are doing. Once you click on maybe, for instance, one of the startups, you're able to see the information about it in terms of the number of funding they have raised, when they founded, number of users. Yeah, you basically see everything about it. And this is validated information. Yeah, that's our platform.
Hi, so my name is Alia Mnavo.
My name is Jean Basire.
What we created was an application called Twin Presence. Twin Presence is a chatbot, basically, that integrates with the different social media and sort of messaging applications to be able to answer and just reply and respond to your messages for you when you're asleep, basically. And the whole idea of creating this application was for mainly people who travel a lot or go abroad to study or to work, and they're really unable to keep touch with their family members back at home, or maybe have colleagues who work outside their time zone region, and they really do want to just have that one text to say, oh yeah, it's been a good day, but I'm going to bed now, just so that the people know that they are alive and they are kicking without thinking that things happen to them when they're abroad, especially with your parents. So the application is basically just supposed to answer on all platforms that are integrated within the application, to be able to just give the heads up. The system is also able to just check for emergency messages, because there are messages that come up and they're very important, that need immediate attention. It will be able to give a call back to the user so that they're able to wake up and answer immediately, because some things are just not something you can keep waiting. So for example, we just tested with a few different people in the application just to see how it works basically. We started with, like, let's say if it's a boss who says, you have an urgent meeting tomorrow, it will immediately give a call because it sees the urgency of the message that you need to maybe change your schedule the next day, and a call will be given to you so that you can answer that particular urgent message. But if it's a normal text, like from a friend, like, wanna hang out, they'll be like, yeah, hotel tonight, I need some rest. But this will depend on the previous conversations we've had with them, and also the information your chatbot is getting from the previous conversation you had with them. If you're a completely new user, the chatbot scrapes through all the messages you've been having throughout your application with your consent to be able to understand what you've been talking about, what you've been conversing about, what topics you've been conversing about, so that they'll be able to give a relevant answer for your specific user. So for example, if your dad asks, how are you? Like, if you're very close with your father, hi love, I'm good, exhausted but good, long day honestly. Right? So that now from there, your father can feel like this is still part of the conversation, you're going to rest, so maybe they leave 1 or 2 messages after this. Nothing too major. It still is a work in progress because we need to customize which kind of users are in each application. But for now, we tested it knowing that in these different 7 applications, and whoever of these particular users text you, they'll be able to customize the response depending on who is texting. If it's your boss, it gives more of a formal response and less of a chatty and lovable response. But if it's your family members, like your mother, your father, your sister, it gives a more loving and more conversational response. But if it's like your friends and something, if they just want to hang out or something, it just gives a one-time very loving and very friendly response. It's basically just supposed to be your friend when you're away from your phone, so that the rest of your people don't feel left out, don't feel like just because you're away that you're not okay, or if things are not going right. And then from the morning, when you wake up, you can be able to now respond with a more in-depth conversation. And then now they can continue from there. Later on, as we continue to grow the app, the one feature we are yet to test is the feature whereby it will be able to scan through your calendar to see the meetings that you have that do not need you to speak. For any meeting that you don't need to speak, you will put a tag saying bot access allowed, and it will be able to join that particular meeting, transcribe it for you, and summarize it for you. That's the one feature we did not test yet.
Thank you so much for your time and your patience. I am Salma Adam, and this is my teammate,
Aisha Umar.
And we have created an application that is a supervisor safety app. Now, this is an automation, but before we get to what it is, let me try and explain what brought about this idea. So we were given, yes, a broad topic to cover. It wasn't really specific, but it was all about creating an application that works for you while you're sleeping. So we thought of an industry that could really use such an application, and we looked into the manufacturing industry in Kenya, and specifically we pinpointed the manufacturing industries that deal with pens, manufacturing pens. Our research showed us that at night there are less workers and more accidents are frequent. So how can we make that safe, and how can we automate it in a way that the programs that are already there, how can we automate those programs, the softwares that are installed in the manufacturing sector or the industry, to make it much easier? We noticed that the reason why accidents happen despite having CCTV and programmed softwares for manufacturing, we noticed is because of lack of the human presence, which is the supervisor. So the supervisor is not around. So what we created is a supervisor app whereby it automates alerts. So let's say at 3 a.m. at night, a machine overheats and then the supervisor is not around. And then this might even cause damage. It might cause issues in the company while they're manufacturing. So it sends an alert, and then under 1 minute, it resolves the issue. So by resolving, it means shutting down the machine that is overheating. So another feature we also looked into is like utilizing the CCTV. Let's say the workers are there, yes, and we are humans, and then they're a bit tired, they get sleepy, and they're like, oh, maybe we can take time out, the supervisor is not around, the CCTV can be changed, can be tampered with. So we found a way to just send those reports and alert, such that sending an alarm whereby instead of them slacking and just assuming the supervisor is not there, we can do what we want, then it sends a signal, let's say an alarm, and causes noise, and then they're up to task and do what is required. So that is basically what we have created, and this is how it works. Okay, what you see on your screen is an alert, which is critical. It has been highlighted as critical. So we are seeing it having a countdown, a timer, that after this timer lapses, let's see what happens. So it resolves that as unsafe behavior. So worker reaching into moving machinery zone. So when it comes now to, let's say you need to find out what happened, and let's say the supervisor was not present at that hour, then at least you can go back to the reports and have some accountability and something to work with. So in simple terms, that's how it works.
My name is Alwasike Joseph Wafula.
My name is Mark Clinton, and I would love to present to you this application before us. It's a WhatsApp responder. We wanted to build and extend it to email. Unfortunately, because of time, we could not extend to email. The problem with the businesses losing clients or losing customers is because of late response. I text you a message, I need something, but then because you take time to respond, I decide to go to someone else. I think of it in a way that, how is it going to work? Now, this application here, I have assumed that now the artificial intelligence or the AI that is integrated here is the customer representative for a recruitment agency called Top Promise. If you send a WhatsApp message to the number, the business number, it is going to respond and it is going to tell you exactly what you want. We are going to do an example. For WhatsApp connection, this is just, you'll just connect your WhatsApp the way you always connect WhatsApp using web. When a customer or a client sends a message to that WhatsApp number, it is going to respond back. What happens is, when you send a message to the number, and be my guest, you can try it out, even though you are not going to get the response right now. I can read out the number so that one of you can try. When you send a message, our application is going to extract your username, and then it is going to save your contact. After doing that, it is going to send that message to our AI agent, and then the AI is going to give the response, which is going to be logged, and then it's going to be sent back to you. Right now, because of time, it is just going to be logged. We are going to see you sending the message, and it's going to be logged in the application. And after being logged in the application, we are going to see a response coming. For now, our application is just supporting text. It is not supporting media. It can only read text message. If you ask it like, what job opportunities do you have? It is going to give you the list of job opportunities. If you ask it like, where are you located? It's going to give you the location of the office. For the SMS, it has to be an app that is installed in the phone. So for the Android application, after installing the Android application, it will be able to access your messages and then sending it to the AI, and then AI sending it back.
So yeah, judges have discussed and they're here with feedback. So my advice, don't take it personally. Take it from people who want to see you succeed, right? And funny thing, for example, episode 1, the teams that got gigs from that episode were not particularly the top teams. So don't let the position the judges give you take it as direction, basically. Yeah, so let's introduce the judges to give us the feedback.
I'm going to just give the general feedback, and then Tracy is going to give you the rankings. A few things I'd say generally about the presentations that you made. All of you had solid ideas. I'd say part of you presenting your idea to an investor or your clients is the confidence that you show up with whenever you're making that presentation. You need to be very confident about your idea, even if it's an idea that, let's say, it's still on the works, you still haven't fleshed everything out. You still have to be like very confident about or rather with your presentation. The other main thing is understanding your problem statement. So I'd also encourage all of you, whenever you're trying to make a presentation for such, make sure that you clearly state the problem statement, and then start telling us how you're trying to solve that problem statement. So always having a clear problem statement, the clarity on that will also give you clarity of even the solution. So I'd say a few things. I'll start with Vista. So Vista was the one that was connecting startups with investors. You had quite a solid idea as well. And then the automation bit is where we also felt that you can do a bit of improvement there, given that your idea was that you're going to help investors validate the startups and the data that they're giving it. So we're actually expecting that the validation bit is the automation, not the lead generation, because when it comes to lead generation, practically anyone can go and do the lead generation, but most of the work is on validating the idea. But just automating the lead generation was still cool. At least we could see something that you're already offering. There's like a practical solution, like at least an element of it was working. So that was also good. Let's move on to Team 2. Team 2 was doing basically automating responses to messages. I'd say you also had a really good idea, especially the classification bit, because your messages can ideally tell, okay, what you're receiving here is more urgent. You need to prioritize this over this one. So that aspect of that was solid as well. The only challenge I'd say that your idea faced, and we asked this in the questions, is privacy. Privacy is really big, especially when it comes to this project, given that it has to go to like the private chats that you're having with your friends, with your family. And you need to, of course, understand the privacy laws that govern a lot of the jurisdictions. So think about the GDPR, think about like HIPAA. There's just a lot of this data privacy things that you always have to keep in mind with your ideas. Then the other thing was that you didn't have any automation that you could show us and say, okay, this is our idea. This is what we've actually automated. Like if you can send me a text message right now, I'll classify it. What we saw was just synthetic data just on the chatbot, which was a good way to show us. But I'd say if you had like an actual text message or an actual WhatsApp message, something like that you can automate, then your idea would have been like really, you had one of the best ideas for automation. So Team 3 was Joseph and Mark. So there was actually a lot of similarities between the idea that Team 2 had and the idea that Team 3 had, because they were all looking at how to respond to messages. The only difference between the two is that now for Team 3, they had one working solution for them. But what they could improve on, especially for Team 3, is find a way to contraposition themselves with their solution. Because we already have such existing solutions for businesses. You just need to find a way, like how do you make your idea better and how would you make it more attractive to anyone? But the fact that we had like a solid solution working. Let's move to Team 4. It was a good idea in terms of the automation bit, but our thinking to this was that they gave this out even when they were doing their presentation. The reason why, especially for example in Kenya, manufacturing and everything and processing let's say increased like I don't know, tenfold or something. The reason it has done that is because processes are highly automated. So what are the chances that such a thing is also already automated? Because automation has gone so far at this point. The thing about this is that the process is already automated. What I would have loved to see from Team 4 is them giving us, even if they would have used just synthetic data, show us, okay, this is the data that we found out, like even if they generate it somewhere, based on this data, this is our analysis, and then we found out this is the issue. They now end up finding a solution for that. But I'd say for Team 4, it was more of, the idea was there, but the practicality of it is what we ended up not sort of like resonating with fully. I'd say that is the general feedback that we have for all the teams. Bottom line here is all of you had solid ideas. The difference between all of you is that some had solutions that they already understood the problem statements. Some had a bit of it that working, some did not. But the main thing is just to try and find a way to push your solution to market. Okay, I think I'll let Tracy give you the rankings.
Hi. So first, clap for yourself for being here. The effort, the courage, and the confidence. And I could say there are great ideas and great minds in this room. So are you ready for the ranking? So our number 4 goes to Team 4. Then number 3 goes to team 2. Now, are you ready for number 1? Drum rolls. So number 1 goes to team 3.
If you've reached to this point, you love the video, so make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Then tell us down below in the comments which idea you vibe with the most. Keep winning. Don't forget to subscribe.